Cue the wind. Of course it gets windy, right? What's going on, YouTube? We're going to check in here for a minute, let everybody wander in if anybody wanders in. We'll see how long it takes since it's been forever since. Calm down. My goodness. Since we've done this for a while, we'll see how many people check in, get a view or not, hang out. But today was our day of supposed reopening, and lots of good comments for that. Let's see what happens here. Was this thing even put public? Oh, somebody checked in, maybe. Maybe. What are you guys yelling about? Huh? Being assaulted back here in the meantime. What are you guys attacking me for, huh? It's not quite time yet. Relax. Hey, what's up, M Long? How's it going? So, since we got some folks roaming in, yeah, today we had our infamous supposed governor putting out his criteria for reopening of businesses and whatnot. And it just baffles the mind on how they continue to move the goalposts on what they consider reopening and continuing to push people's buttons as they exert control over the populace. It's quite amazing. You know, we started off with this social distancing effort and all this other things that we never should have heard of, lockdown and business shutdown. And the whole movement was to avoid surge on hospitals and those things like that. And none of those things happened. And even though none of those things have happened, they're still holding off, keeping a clamp down on everything with what our governor put out today. Some, things they can open up like 50% capacity and all these other guidelines. And you see the tons of stories now with hospitals having to lay off people because they can't afford it because they're not doing regular business because they've pushed out so many other different services that they usually offer. And it is a travesty what's going on here, and I hear it's going on other places, and they continue to befuddle the public and pull a fast one on them, and saying, we're going to do this, we're going to open businesses up slowly and all these other things, but yet mission is accomplished so far, but they don't mention those things, and they continue to tyrannize the public as they are. I'm going to pick up feedback over here. I've got people checking in, but what are you up to? It's madness. I don't see how they think they can keep this up, but it's almost like you can sense the sense of power that some of these guys get off on, being able to control people. And if not that, they get off on that they're helping somebody so much that 1% that is getting all this assistance and help by what they're being so benevolent in their actions, and look what we're doing to help people. It's almost makes you cringe in a lot of ways, because they seem to enjoy it, being able to put the thumb screws to certain groups and then see what we're doing to help you other people, meaning the people that are going to be most vulnerable to the sickness, right? Even though everybody knows what you need to do if you are if you are elderly, if you are easily immunocompromised and all that good stuff, take your precautions. Everybody and their mom, we're all going to get it eventually or not. There is no vaccine coming for this thing, as much as they keep trying to push that to provide that hope. It seems like the hopium they keep pushing. I don't think there's ever going to be a vaccine for this, and if there is, it's going to be ineffective and kill more people than it helps. I think that's really going to be the thing that sticks, because coronaviruses traditionally haven't had vaccines. for a reason. But yeah, just watching that, shaking my head. Actually, I wasn't watching it. I heard some of it, actually. I put the link in the description box below of the speech today of him giving out his criteria and everything. And you got to figure the economic pain that's coming that doesn't have to be I can't imagine how bad it's going to continue to get with this continued, especially on the strip and all the strip services down in Vegas. The casinos remaining closed, which it looks like will be remaining closed until at least June, now that we've passed this benchmark. And that's just one little slice of a small part of America, right? What's the rest of small, big time America looking like? And people acting like we're coming out of this on the Wall Street front. Hey, things are looking up. Market edges up. Hey, things are looking a little better. Oil prices come up a little bit. Don't play the sucker's bet. Don't get in on that stuff. The house always wins. House is going to pull the rug out from everybody, it looks like. Beware. But yeah, I haven't checked in a while on a lot of things. Trying to watch people's videos. A lot of people doing videos I've seen on like what's going on in their area with all the different social distancing measures, food shortages if there are any. That I mean, I'm not gonna say I was the first, but I was talking about food shortages back in the beginning of February. Like, that train is coming bigger than it's a huge freight train. And yeah, it's here. People wanted to play it off, but the freight train of food shortages, and it's starting with meat, and it's an unexpected way with the meat packing plants having those large amount of infections. People joking about it, and meat price, I think it was whole beef doubled in price over the week, as an example. So craziness. And the economic situation is really the key to watch, because that's what's going to really push buttons. You got people, and I guess we'll see who's on here first. Oh man, I got M Long, Saints and Sappers, what's up? Corsair, what's going on, Steve? Walter Davis, good evening. Bikes and Bullets, Sigma Tactical, welcome to the chat. Let's make sure everybody saying hi to each other. Hi. Jimmy from Tucson, what's going up? They're saying you can reopen Monday, is that right? Yeah, everything in Nevada is opening up midnight. Basically 12:01 a.m. Saturday morning was the decree handed down of the things that can open. Obviously it's not everything, it's just certain things. Rooster Cogburn, cool, what's going on? Yeah, Rooster, I haven't done a live in forever. So, you know, the sun's going down, I wanted to get this in. I was moving about, and since today is our phase 1 of reopening, I thought I'd just comment on it. It's just funny how people acquiesce, like, oh, people are like, oh, he said he did such a good thing, you know, we're reopening, with no timeline, with no guidelines on how it's going to progress. Just when we feel like it, we're going to open again. When we get around to it. Where'd that rabbit go? Rabbit chased it off. Bike says, have you been receiving emails from our senators? I have, and never gave out the email. Is that right? No, I haven't. I haven't got an email from anybody. You're talking about state senators or federal? Either way. Nope, I haven't gotten from any of them. They just go off voter rolls, possibly. They can get certain things like that through voter rolls. But no, I haven't gotten any emails from our representatives and whatnot. Merkel said she's not opening Germany back up until a vaccine is produced. Which, that's a whole nother situation. With them keep pushing this line that we're not going to open unless there's a vaccine, leads me to believe that that's part of the agenda, is to keep us all shut down while the economy is rearranged. It's one of those, it's a conspiracy theory, right? It's a theory that I have in my mind. As other people have talked about it, I believe a little bit. But let's see if I can turn this around while I'm going, so you guys aren't looking at the since I stopped walking. Um, um, see where we're at. But yeah, that they are pushing the vaccine story harder and harder, even though it doesn't look like ones that want to be produced for up to a year. And if you say we're going to keep all this economy shut down, that means your agenda is to rearrange the economy in the meantime so that people can't take advantage of it, whatever the situation is. Because remember, the House always has to win, being the central banks, and they will find a way to leverage themselves so that they don't take the hit, because that's the whole thing. They don't want to take the loss in this fiat crash that they've created, and that's what they would take in a normal crash. Is they would take the hit, and the people would be able to take advantage of it and have our own leverage with real tangible goods and services, right? But they don't want that, so they're trying to manipulate it and come out ahead on the other side. Somebody's over here messing with a horse. They're gonna get hurt. Uh-oh. But that's another thing, just keeping an eye on, is like, the worse the economic situation gets, the more they try to push this economy staying closed, the more it seems like they're just trying to keep things manipulated long enough to stay on top of things central bank wise, and really put the hurting on the us people, the lowly middle lower class serfs, all of us, right? That's just something I keep an eye on. Conspiracy theory or not, we'll see. Stan Ulrich, what's going on? You think the agenda of Mr. Gates will prevail? I don't know. I don't think they're going to come out with that vaccine. So that means they're going to try to get into another medicine of some sort. And that's why they're downplaying the whole not hydrocortisone. Anyway, the malarial drug that they've been putting out there. The reason they don't want it getting out there too much is because they don't have all the stock in it. It's too widely distributed, too widely used for over 70 years. You can't profit from it. Too many people manufacture it, so it's not centralized control. Poco Loco, what's going on? Follow the money, right? Stimulus checks, who's getting the money? Oh yeah, they gave the check out, so you had to go to a corporate business to use it, right? They didn't get it out there so you could go to mom and pop shops because they were all closed, which is a big pushback that's coming. Hopefully they can sue these governments out of business with all the just bad decision making and moving the goalpost and the illegality of the whole thing. What's going on, Poco? Though, good to see you. Now that I know you're in Idaho, that was an interesting video of that lady in Idaho getting arrested off of the playground. That was some ridiculousness. Hey, Uman, what's going on? Thanks for the Costco report the other day. Yesterday, I guess it was. Uman buying beef and such. Word on the street till the end of June. Yeah, bikes, that's what I'm here saying. At least. And that's just based upon the criteria now. Imagine if we just get a slight uptick, based upon even the governor's own words, a slight uptick. What they're doing is laying the groundwork so that the local tyrants can take the hit for it and make the declaration. That's what I see now. So if you have an uptick in hospitalizations in Vegas, your local Vegas commission shuts things back down. They're like, oh, the locals did what they thought they had to do. Look, it's local control. They're setting it up for that now. Can fully see that happening here in June. Their bikes, you won't even, be able to even do that. Hey, Blue Healer 260, welcome to chat. I'm catching 5150. The Bob, what's up? Everybody go check out Bob. Bob's at the greatest channel in the world right now. Bob moved to Northern Arizona, is living it up. Let's see who else we got here that I haven't said hello to. Angel R, what's going on? Chance, what's going on? Hello to the AK and to everybody else, right? Hey, what's up, Wes S? What happens Tuesday? Why would we die on Tuesday? I don't know what happens. I don't think we're all going to die at all. That's not the problem. Sucks to be German, says Walter. It sucks to be all of us right now, I think. Um, let me, hey, Red October, what's up? Question for me or for anybody? Why is it daylight where I'm at? Because it's still daylight, Red. It's still evening nautical twilight. The sun's actually down. Everybody knows what evening nautical twilight is, right? I had to explain it to my daughter earlier. Right? Sigma knows a conspiracy theorist when he told everybody to get in the boat, right? It's a conspiracy that it's going to rain, right? Well, that was an inevitability. Uh, you know what, Wes? That's kind of funny. Nearly in Cali, something people don't realize. This part of Nevada, this farthest western section, we are further west than Los Angeles and San Diego. If you look the way the globe works, California's hooked, right? We're actually further west than LA, technically. So that's kind of an odd part of geography people don't think about, is that west coast of California curves in, and Reno and that whole western Nevada is actually further west than Western California, Southwest California. Yeah, you're further south, Bob. It's gonna be sunny there for a little bit. It's 10 Central Time. Yeah, it's not even 8 o'clock here. I got another 10, 20 minutes of daylight. It's dark in Texas. That's a sad day, Red. What was that song about Texas? Oh, yeah, that hair salon lady got let out of prison in Texas. That was an interesting situation. Like, why would you even arrest somebody for something like that? The police state issues is one of the big ones that have to get highlighted by all this, right? Um, the over-aggression of police, the overstepping their bounds. What was it, Toronto, Canada? The cops beat up some stormtrooper. The business that was open was doing a May the 4th be with you type of thing for Star Wars. One of their employees was in a stormtrooper costume, and the cops roughed her up. It was even a woman, and the cops roughed her up on the street right there in broad daylight. It's like, what is wrong with people? And the cops in particular are just going over the edge. Like, nobody can de-escalate, nobody can de-conflict anything, et cetera, et cetera. It just baffles the mind how that gets like that. Let me scroll on down here. I got past that question, I think. Red's still amazed it's daylight here. Hey, Truth, what's going on, Truth? Truth's out of one of the protests out in Buffalo. No more tacos, is that right? All right, Wes. Yeah, we're all gonna die, and that's the thing. There's keep pushing that fear, right? And it's like they give you hope, like, oh, we're gonna open when there's certain criteria met, but the criteria is so vague and unrealistic or unknown. Um, One thing I did see somebody share was one of the states actually had like a color coded checklist guide. Like, okay, that almost, like, I can understand that. That makes sense almost. Nevada is just vague and throwing darts at whenever the governor wakes up in the morning on the wrong side of the bed when we're going to open, if we open at all. Again, I think they're laying the groundwork so that the local counties can shut everything down at the first little hint of a few more diseases. You know, that's what I see going on here in Nevada, at least. That's what they're laying the groundwork for, and they can go, look, the locals are taking control, and that's all good. Miss Stacy, what's going on? Yeah, we're talking about your governor. Our governor, I guess. I guess we have to take the hit up here too. Haven't seen Miss Stacy in a while. Is your business open, Stacy? Oh, is that somebody walking on the road? Oh, go get them. She doesn't like people walking on the road, especially with their dogs. Yeah, Miss Stace, I think you did a video back at the very beginning of this showing how you were doing social distancing in your business. So I don't know if you stayed open the whole time or not. Chad Lilly, CIA has entered the chat. What's up, Chad? Talk about a blast from the past, right? Yeah, you've been kind of UA. Good. Thanks for dropping in. Thanks for checking in. We need to do some more videos so we have something to talk about. There's plenty of conspiracy to talk about now, right? It ain't like all this, like we were saying, I don't know, a while back on somebody's video, we were commenting like nobody saw it coming this way, right? Nobody saw the lockdown of the police state and all this stuff happening in this manner, that's for sure. But this is one of those things that kind of outcycled us, I think, with the possibilities of how they could put enough fear into the people to get it done. Yes, Saints, let's talk about the MVG situation, right? Guns Coast to Coast, also known as the Midwest Prepper, brought this up in a video the other day about, heard it through the grapevine, and he heard it through Wrangler Star, who heard it through the grapevine. So a couple different vendors, that cops were buying up all the MVGs back at the beginning of February when this all started to roll out, and they were trying to figure out why. And I guess you'd have to, hypothesize why, right? Make your own supposition, but it is interesting that there was a big push from that community for MVGs when this whole shutdown, economic collapse started to roll out, right? That is definitely an interesting situation, and doesn't help me with my cause, but I don't know if we'll ever have the full answer, but I don't even know if we'll ever know if they bought enough to make a difference or not. But the prices were edging up on pretty much anything like that. Miss Stacy's still open. Nice, nice. That's good. Somebody's got to stay in business. Truth, your pastor was fine Sunday, but churches were open for testing. Wow, they let a church, they let the state use their church for testing. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't think I would support that organization if that was the case. That's kind of suspicious, I would say, if a local congregation was supporting testing in the area. Don't think I'd want to go down that road. Anyway. Yeah, there's no cat houses around here, Fuzz. What's going on, Fuzz? Run it by hand until you get it going. That sounds like a dangerous proposition, Fuzz. You might be a little too old for that. Yeah, Event 201, right, Chad? Or 2021, whatever they're going to call it. I don't know if it's going to go according to plan or not. We'll see. There was, who shared the video of the lady from CDC talking about the vaccine development and everything. I think, I know Adam over at, well, shoot, what's his full channel name now? He shared it yesterday, and there's other channels that are sharing it because it's getting deleted. And her whole explanation of Fauci's involvement in patents with the vaccine and keeping things subdued until they can develop a vaccine to profit off of it, etc., etc. That was an interesting video. I can't remember her name either. I can't remember. Again, what's Adam's channel name? Somebody knows what I'm talking about. I saw it mostly on Twitter. Stacy, you're busier than before the shutdown? Well, that's good. Plans. PCP. Is that the full name of his channel now? I know he changed his Twitter handle to PCP. I wasn't sure if that was Physical Conditioning Platoon or Pork Chop Platoon. So that's what he changed it to? Okay. I didn't know if I saw his Twitter handle changed to that, but I wasn't sure if that was his channel change or not. But yeah, that was on his, and I shared it on the YouTube on my communities page. If anybody hasn't seen that video interview, you can find it there. And I don't know what the title of it was. People are retitling it to get past YouTube's algorithms and stuff, so that they don't take it, that it gets widely disseminated. But you can find it on my community page. I shared it there if you want to check that out for your informational pleasure. Purely, of course, right? Or go, yeah, Adam's channel. That'd probably be the easiest way if you can't find it on my channel. Yeah, Judy Makovich. There you go, Stacy. Thanks. I might be catching up here a little bit. Yeah, that was her name. No wonder I couldn't remember it. Or Mike Adams has got it too. Truth. Okay, there you go. Yeah, Poco Loco. They are manipulating the masses, right? Yep, Angel's got the name. There you go. You guys are on it. Most of you guys have seen it probably, but for anybody now or later that hasn't, go check that out. I'll try to put a link in the description box when we're done here too. You saw it through Fuzz's channel too? Okay. Stacy's interview. And Dr. Booter? Was that his name? Was he in there too? Okay, there you go. You guys are tracking. So if you see anybody in the comments there, whoa, what's all that noise? Yeah, so go check those links out. Everybody's recommended different sources. Those will all be very useful, I'm sure, for anybody that wants to check that out. So, like, what else is going on, right? Like, there's nothing else important. Oh, man. I mean, I just want to find a time to relax and get a day off or something. I've been off on weekends, but it's just getting tiring the way the schedule's been working out ever since this whole thing started. Not been the most fun thing. Bioweapons expert explains the origins. Is that right? Was that in that same video? I didn't catch that part of it. Doing some water in here at the same time. Yeah, do not trust the CDC. Why would you, right? Even if you weren't the president of Tanzania. That only goes without saying. Oh, let's get this over here. Go. It's the great Poco Loco, right? Thing going good for you in Idaho? I could be buffering. You never know. I'm in an open signal area. Showing strong signal on my end, though. But, what was that other? California County. What was it? Ventura County. And this would be something Corsair needs to investigate. Basically, I think it was Ventura County said they will come to your house and take your children if they're positive for COVID, irregardless of health situation or irregardless of, their needs, healthcare needs. The way it was put out and the way I understood it was they will come and take your children from you. And that got a real strong response on Twitter when that article came out. I saw that today. I'm pretty sure it was Ventura County, but it was one of the California counties saying they will come and take your children from their where they're living and their accommodations and take them to another place. And I can only imagine where that could be. And we know how the state foster care system works. We can only imagine how bad that would be. And That's just crossing the line. I mean, seriously, like, where do you want to talk about drawing the line? Like, you want to get people's line in the sand and see what they'll really stand up to. And I know that there's going to be a ton of people who won't stand up and won't resist it and will let the state do whatever they want to their children. But all it takes is one. And I've hypothesized this a long time ago, where I posited this truth. I said this thing is going to get real the first time a National Guard person gets smoked, and they could be put in that bad position of, with all the assistance they're providing to the people. I can see how in the states where they're activated and working, if they sent them to somebody's house to take their children, they could easily become a target. And that's something that would be interesting to see if they just sent public health people to do that, which that won't go well. They'll get basically kicked to the curb. Are they going to bring the sheriff? Are they going to bring the National Guard people to take people's kids for them? Who makes that plan? Who thinks that, for one thing, and then who actually says it in public as a good plan, and this is what we're going to do? It's just unfathomable how people think of these things and think they're good ideas. We're going to take people's children from them if they have COVID-19, regardless of their healthcare situation. Seriously? It doesn't pass the common sense test. It's like they live in a whole different world than the rest of us out here who cherish our independence and freedoms and stuff. It's like they're on a whole different planet. They don't even we don't even coexist in the same dimension of America, right? It's what it seems like, you know. But that thing is just bizarre, and that's an easy trigger point. That's an easy point that's an easy way somebody could get pushed over the edge and cause problems, just like that. Like that Texas thing with the MRAP showing up to the bar that resisted, and wanted to stay open and made a show, protest staying open, and they brought the MRAP in on them. Just an example of the amount of force they're willing to use just to get their way. Not like you can't, politely ask. It's like they're not politely asking anybody. It doesn't matter who you are or what you do, salon owner, business owner, anybody, you will be put under the boot, or else we will bring extreme force. That's extreme force. That's all it is. It most definitely extreme force. And all those examples, I think, questionable for sure. Poco says it's super small town where he's at, business as usual. That's good to hear. Kind of the same way here. I mean, the grocery store and stuff, things, those places, little changes with, obviously everybody was out of toilet paper and stuff like that. But yeah, small town's a little different than the bigger city. Food lines are crazy for you, Angel? Is that where you're at, Angel? People running out of food for food lines? Is that like homeless, or just anybody that's on food stamps, or how are those lines being determined? I guess would be the question on that. And then they run out of food. I'm sure that doesn't make people happy at all. I know I follow a channel out of North Carolina, Michael Gilchrist. The Michael Gilchrist channel. He's in, I think he's either in Greensboro, Winston-Salem area. He's in that area. And maybe he's in Raleigh. Anyway, he's down in the flatlands. And he went to get some food. They had it wasn't like a state handout. It was like a business that was doing a promotional sale. And they were having it. So, you drive through basically, and it was like, bulk meat, and it was gone in no time. I mean, it was gone. And he was like, he waited 2 hours in the line of traffic, and he didn't get nothing. That's pretty bad. Hey, Ann 411, what's going on? How are you doing? Thanks for checking in. Corsair says, seeing 2 videos. It wasn't like what they're seeing. They were talking about setting people up in hotels and stuff. Well, that's the standard quarantine protocol already. We'll look more into it, but that's right over your AO, so it more affects you than anybody. So definitely it's concerning anytime anybody talks about anybody separating their kids from their parents, you know, in America at least. And says they won't enforce stuff until the next wave. And that's a good point. A lot of this could just, because they know there's going to be a second wave, whether or not it's worse or not as bad is to be determined. I mean, we're probably all going to get some level of this. What are you barking at, dog? Yeah, I don't know either. That's what I said. Um, Seeing how this first wave goes, and then when the second wave rolls around, they can, you know, dress up their procedures and do more of, or less of what they want to do anyway. But this is it's like a good test run, right? Whether that's this summer, this fall, you know, second, third, fourth wave, who knows how it rolls through? You know, there's so many different uh, hypotheses on this virus and how it's spreading. There's so many different studies supposedly on, you know, it's spreading. And that was a story today. I haven't got a chance to read it. Headline was it came out of a nail salon in California. It says the California governor. Okay, like you had one outbreak from one hair salon doesn't mean all hair salons are bad. You know, anytime you get somebody that's highly virulent, you can easily spread the virus, right? But they're trying to make it like seem to sound like, oh, you can't have any nail salons open. Well, that's ridiculous. But hey, it was that Mule team. What's up, Mule? How's it going? Mule put a video out the other day. His one video a month. Officially in the Twilight Zone, right? Yeah, a lot of things going down to totally Twilight Zone type stuff. Angel Arcid saw the same thing as Corsair. Okay. It does seem like alternative reality. Your county's opening up, Corsair. It's going to stop arresting people on the beach, tell the governor to pack sand. And that's when it starts, says Chance, right? Brave New World, right? It's all a combination of all those dystopian 1984, Brave New World, Animal Farm. It's all rolled into one, and we're right in the middle of it. It's like you got some animals are more special than others with the blue thin blue line, and you got the Brave New World with the whole eugenics and not humanitarian. What's the word? Transhumanism agenda. Um, it's all in there. It's all there. There are protests in Yakima there, Chad, right? Yeah, I mean, there's protests here, but, you know, that is what I found. That's one thing I found interesting. Speaking of protests, at the end of the governor's press conference today, when he announced the reopening plan, the last question of the day was, Governor, did you fear for your life at your protest day with people with guns were there? And of course, this was, you know, Vegas media trying to play on everybody's fear of, look how backwards everybody up in Carson City is. I'm sure. Um, you know, he runs the cover to Vegas every chance he gets. But yeah, there were, you know, a dozen or so people there that were armed at the protest Saturday, I guess. And he was like, oh, I was fine, but I was really scared for my wife, you know, and playing the victim card. You know, he's the governor. Like he didn't have any, you know, protection himself or something from all those evil people with ARs that were walking around. It was kind of funny. And he played it off like he was the victim, and like, oh, that's not real Nevada. That's just fringe, you know, and everything. You know, meat prices for Poco Loco. A lot of 4-H animals for sale for you, Poco, right? Yeah, I got animals for sale. If anybody wants to come to Nevada and get some pork, we'll hook you up. Gasoline rising, says Fuzz, from 129 to 179. Really? I think it's been 179 pretty steady here. I think maybe 175, something like that. But I think that's been pretty steady. That might be as low as we go. Oil prices it's kind of stabilized around the $20 barrel mark, which is incredibly, amazingly crazy low. But when you look at, like we talked about last video or 2 videos ago, the oil tankers that are setting off the coast, just sitting there loaded up with oil, there's nowhere for oil to go. So it's all just going to be placed in storage until prices go up. So that means reopenings, the economy has to start using fuel and oil. Things have to get manufactured, plastics. People have to burn gas for all that oil to go into demand. And they're not going to get it off those tankers until the price goes up. I don't think that's almost a guarantee. So, they're going to want, that gas price to get back up around $2 or something, and oil back up around 35 to 40 at least before they start offloading a bunch of that storage, I bet. We'll see, though. I don't know how much OPEC's going to undercut it, or if they asked for a production drop in OPEC, so that's going to affect that a little bit. They want to get that price up. Chad, your dogs are barking in sync with mine. Well, I'm not anywhere near. I hope. Well, if you're over there, is that over? We must be a lot closer than we thought. Truth says 40% increase in families' food bank lines. Meat plants closed, right? Yeah, all the economic food shortages issue. If you can't plant, I didn't have a chance to make this video. I wanted to make a VR to Guns Coast to Coast. He did a video a while back. It's probably been almost a month now, about people that say they're going to start a garden shouldn't, because they just need to stock up on food because they're just going to fail if this is their first time getting a garden. And I get the sentiment, because if it's your first attempt at a garden, this is probably not the time, when you're maybe busy and you may not have the know-how and all these other issues you might run into. But I think you still have to try. In that way, next year's not your first time. Even if this is your first go around, I mean, don't think that garden's going to be your sole source of food. Don't look at it like that. Definitely still stock up, but get out there and grow something anywhere. I liked a video that Vaughn did a while back, Backcountry Preps, because he's like half in Arizona, half in California, right? And his place in California, he put out a bunch of kiddie pools and filled them with dirt and compost and mulch or whatever, where I got his soil from, and planted in his backyard in a bunch of kiddie pools. That was real hasty. As soon as this lockdown thing came in, he knew he wouldn't be able to do the thing back in Arizona, and all the issues he was looking at. He's like, we're going to do it right here. This is how we're going to do it. And it works. And if you're in that environment, that's something as that simple as a couple kiddie pools can give you enough, can at least help, and at least help you get something started this year. So next year you're more experienced and you know a little bit more to plant next year. Don't hold off this year just because you're afraid to fail. That was my big thing I wanted to say to Guns Coast to Coast on that one, is don't delay your planning just because you're afraid your garden's going to fail. You're going to have failures, no doubt. Certain plants, certain types, some will flourish, some will fail. You have to figure out why. But again, don't think it's going to be your sole source of food, though, either. Definitely stock up with your other stockable food and long-term food storage stuff as well at the same time. So that was for Midwest Prepper, his bad advice. Hey, what's up, Quasar? When do you think silver will break out? What's up, Quasar? Well, it did today. Dadgum if it didn't break out today. It's been right at 15, and it was high 14s the last 4 or 5 days, and I was hoping it would go down to 1475. That's kind of my trigger point. And danged if it didn't go up above. It's like 1560 right now, or at least when I checked in on this thing. And I was like, dadgummit, I should have bought last night. But I mean, a breakout, I think the thing about Quasar is you have to get the speculation out of the system. With silver shortages and mines shut down, but silver is also involved in the consumer economy so much. I said it a long time ago, silver will get closer to zero before it skyrockets anyway, because of that paper markets it's involved in. People will dump that paper to save themselves and get the cash out, and that manipulated part of the price. I think you could technically say the physical market has already broken out with the high separation between premiums and the paper market. That's a breakout in my mind. I mean, American Eagles, they've came down a little bit, but you can't find them cheaper than $22. Is that not a breakout? Yeah. Will it last? I don't know. But I think that's irrelevant. I've always, silver's always for me been a savings plan. It's not a cash out, get rich thing. It's always been something to hold on till the other side after the dollar is gone, so it won't be valued in dollars. So that's one thing about my silver. I don't look at it in that way. I like to get it as cheap as I can when I can. So it's just a little bit different mindset for me when I do see the prices like that. When they go up, I just can't buy as much. I mean, if silver ever got to $100 an ounce, you think you'd be able to sell it? You think anybody would buy it from you for $100 an ounce? Would the dollar be worth anything that people would have enough to buy it off of you? So that's something to think about with that. Speaking of silver and the economic conditions, that's just my rough mind. And people talking about gold in a similar way. If gold gets monetized again, it'll go through the roof. Well, maybe. I would look at gold the same way, though, if I had any of it to make a count of. I don't have enough to make really a count of, so it's not a worry. Lots of scuttlebutt. Uh-oh. What's a scuttlebutt about? I must have missed that. World meat. Yeah, lots of good stuff. Lots of good stuff, folks. It's almost been an hour. I just wanted to check in and kind of comment on our situation here in Nevada, such as, hey, Barry Wood, what's up, Barry? Noble Savage. Hey, people check in here at the end, of course, as I'm getting ready to wrap it up, or try to wrap it up. Everybody shows up. Thanks for checking in, guys. James, 31st state here. Hey, how you doing? Now I got to look up which the 31st state is. 31st. Let me do my math. Let me think. Hope you're doing well. I'm way behind on the comments. Thanks for checking in, everybody. Thanks for the comments. Thanks for all the information out there. Everybody check out all that stuff. Lots of good information out there. Hey, what's up, Irish USMC? Make sure everybody check out Irish USMC's morning chats he's doing with Poison Stinger, soon to be named Silver Stinger, as soon as I get him to buy some silver. Now, he's bought a little bit, but he was complaining about the separation between spot price and physical price, complaining about places charging premiums. So I did that silver video a couple weeks back. Oh, what's going on? Thanks. 202 where James is. That's pretty expensive. I thought our gas was expensive. 220 for Barry. Really? Is that much more expensive up there, Barry? Probably means it's about ready to go up here too, probably. Barry put some good effort in the garden this year. That's good. We're getting ready to, we got all our starters out, and we got to get that stuff in the ground. Make jerky, says Truth. Canned meat, always a good idea. Always a good idea. Yeah, right, Irish, get out the garden now. Yeah, so you guys are, that's how far behind I am. Hope I see somebody else check in. Is short rib ready for roast yet? Ready for your grill? Yeah, we got a couple short roasts. We got a couple of those ready to go. Site paper is worthless. Silver is always worth something, right, Noble? True story. It'll always be worth something. But I was just talking about the paper price of it would be closer to zero, which is irrelevant, right? Trade your silver for lead at this point, says Quasar. If you don't have enough lead, you're way behind. And I've always said, if I run out of lead, there'll be plenty to pick up off the ground. If I run out what I got. Goodness. Oh, James, that's Cami for you is the 31st. I didn't know that. NPC Trump. No. Diesel fuel runs mining costs and metal prices. That makes a difference, true. But also mining costs are heavily affected by foreign supply. I mean, Nevada's a big mining place, but were nothing when you look at Mexico's largest silver mine shut down. Andy and UNH. What's up, Andy? Do any more shooting videos? I think I saw one last week. It's the last one I saw. Thanks for checking in. 339. Holy cow, Corsair. No wonder you don't drive anywhere. Oh, the frost got to your plants, Andy. Yeah, it's been cold out. I saw that northeastern frost. Might snow in a few days. Yeah, there was snow in North Carolina yesterday or Tuesday. Yeah, there was snow up on the mountains in North Carolina, so I'm sure you had some cold. Yeah, I saw it. A couple people posted back there. Snow up on Beach Mountain, at least, if not down lower, but that's like 4,500 feet or 5,000 feet. Mac and Stood, well, hey, what's going on? I haven't seen you in a while. Of course, I haven't done a video or live chat in a while. Poison Stinger, Silver Stinger in the house. Gerald B, what's going on? Welcome back to the chat. Man, all kinds of old timers checking in here. I haven't seen a lot of these people in ages. Maybe if I do videos more often, more people would show up, right? All right, I'm just glad everybody checked in. Good to see you. Okay, I'm back at the end. Land Run 89, what's going on? What's going on? Thanks for checking in and joining the chat. Oh, and it just loaded up a bunch of other. Yeah, you got to get that channel set up, right, Poison? All right, we'll see y'all later. Thanks for checking in. Just keep people alert. Keep a solid mind about you and thinking about, the situation. Because it's definitely unusual and something that none of us really saw it coming and unraveling in this way, I guess you would say. We didn't see things rolling out this way, even though a lot of the things that we saw are happening. It's just the way it's going down is, I think, throwing us all for a loop. But police state excessive government, it's all there. It's all in play. So y'all have a good evening. You know what to do. Prep hard. Live free.